The book I decided to read for my interactive read aloud was Duck for President. This is how I would start by introducing the book. Boys and girls, as we all know, we have been learning about government and how our country is run and organized. Yesterday, we talked about how voting for the president is a very important process that anyone who is a citizen of the United States can take part in. Today, we are going to be reading one of my personal favorite books, which is brought to us by Duck and is all about elections. As you'll see, Duck is a very adventurous animal who loves to break the norms of what a duck can do. This book is from the New York Times best-selling creators of Click, Clack, Moo. I'm sure a lot of you have read or heard of this book before, and the author of these two books is Doreen Cronin. The cover also shows us that the book is illustrated by Betsy Lewin, who is a Caldecott honoree. Now that means that she is really, really good at making artwork for books, and we're going to get to see that as we read. How do we think it's possible for Duck to run for president? What might he have to do if he wants to win? Have any of you ever thought about being president before? That's great. Well, let's find out more as we read the book. Running a farm is very hard work. At the end of each day, Farmer Brown is covered from head to toe in hay, horsehair, seeds, sprouts, feathers, filth, mud, muck, and coffee stains. He doesn't smell very good either. Raise your hand if you have ever been to a farm or if you know anyone who works on a farm. Wow, a lot of us have. Let's look at Farmer Brown's face in this picture. He looks pretty tired after a long day of work. What might be some of the jobs that Farmer Brown has to do? And how do we know? That's very good. It looks like from the picture he's constantly working in the mud, checking in on the animals, and sounds like he drinks a lot of coffee. We can see in the picture he is very, very dirty. The animals have chores to do too. Pigs clean under the beds, cows weed the garden, sheep sweep the barn, and duck take out the trash, mow the lawn, and grind coffee beans. So on this chores list, we can see that it says pigs, cows, sheep, and duck. Based on what we've learned and about the plural forms of words, who can raise their hand and tell me how many ducks live on this farm? Very good, just one. How do we know? That's right, because duck doesn't have an S. It's not in the plural form like the other animals are. Very good. At the end of each day, the pigs are covered in lint bunnies, which are just little tiny balls of lint, which is kind of like dust. The cows are covered in weeds, the sheep are covered in dust, and duck is covered in tiny bits of grass and espresso beans, which are used to make coffee. Duck did not like to do chores. He did not like picking tiny bits of grass and espresso beans out of his feathers. Why is Farmer Brown in charge anyway? Thought Duck. What we need is an election. He made a sign and hung it up in the barn. Farmer Brown must go. Farm election tomorrow. What are some kinds of chores you guys have to do at home? Yeah, it sounds like your parents keep you pretty busy. Now, we see that Duck wants to have an election. Why might he want to do that? Yeah, because he thinks that he would run the farm better than Farmer Brown does. The next morning, Farmer Brown found a poster on his front door. Vote Duck for a kinder, gentler farm. Let's look at Farmer Brown's face in this picture. What do you think he's thinking when he saw this sign? Yeah, he looks pretty surprised and shocked that Duck is going to be running to be in charge of the farm. Farmer Brown was furious. He ran to the barn and found the animals registering to vote. Voter registration. Voters must 1. Live on the farm, 2. Show valid ID, and 3. Be at least this tall. The mice got together and protested the height requirement, so Duck crossed it off the list. Here we can see Duck is crossing off number 3. Be at least this tall. Why do we think Duck had to do that? Why do you think the mice got mad about that? That's right, because you can't not let somebody vote just because of how they look. Who can remember from our discussion earlier in the week? What are a few of the requirements that let people vote in the United States where we live? That's right. You need to be a citizen and you need to be at least 18 years old. Very good. On election day, each of the animals filled out a ballot and placed it in a box. The vote was counted and the results were posted on the barn wall. Farmer Brown 6, Duck 20. Farmer Brown demanded a recount. One sticky ballot was found stuck to the bottom of a pig. The new tally was Farmer Brown 6, Duck 21. So did Farmer Brown get any more votes when he demanded the recount? No, you're right. Duck got that extra vote. The voters had spoken. Duck was officially in charge. Running a farm is very hard work. At the end of each day, Duck was covered from head to toe in hay, horsehair, seeds, sprouts, feathers, filth, mud, muck, and coffee stains. Running a farm is no fun at all, thought Duck. Who else looked like this after they were done running the farm all day? That's right, Farmer Brown. He looked just like this at the beginning of the book. That night, Duck and his staff started working on Duck's campaign for governor. Vote for me. I'm a duck, not a politician. Now, we haven't learned what governor is yet, but it's pretty similar to president, except they're in control of just one state. So there are 50 governors in the United States, one for every state. The president, he controls all the states and runs over the entire country, where the governor, they just worry about their one state. Duck left Farmer Brown in charge and hit the campaign trail. He visited small town diners. He marched in parades. He went to town meetings. He gave speeches that only other ducks could understand. Now remember at the beginning we talked about some of the things that Duck might have to do if he wanted to run for president. And look, it looks like you guys were right. He's doing some of those now. He has to give some speeches. He has to meet lots of people. And he has to try and get people to like him so that they'll vote for him in the election. On election day, the voters filled out their ballots in booths all over the state. The vote was counted and the results were posted in the local paper. Miss Governor, 299,999. Duck, 300,000. So how many votes did Duck get more than Miss Governor? That's right, he beat her by 1 vote. Look at Miss Governor's face. How do you think she feels about this? Yeah, you guys are right. She looks really shocked that she lost to a duck. The governor demanded a recount. 2 sticky ballots were found stuck to the bottom of a plate of pancakes. Here they are. The new tally was Miss Governor, 299,999 votes, and Duck, 300,002 votes. So who got those extra 2 ballots that we found? That's right, Duck, just like last time. The voters had spoken. Duck was officially in charge. Running a state is very hard work. At the end of each day, Duck was covered from head to toe in hairspray, ink stains, scotch tape, fingerprints, mayonnaise, and coffee stains, and he had a very bad headache. Running a state is no fun at all, thought Duck. Do you guys think that Duck liked being governor? It doesn't look like it from the picture, does it? That night, Duck and his staff started working on posters for the presidential election. A duck for change. I like Duck. Duck, making us proud again. So what do you guys think? First, Duck ran to be in charge of the farm. Then, he ran to be governor. Now, he's going to run for president. Do you guys think Duck will like running for president? And if he gets it, do you think he'd like to be the president? I wonder if you guys are right. Maybe there's a pattern in this story. Let's keep reading and find out. Duck left his staff in charge and hit the campaign trail. He kissed babies in local diners. He rode in parades. He gave speeches that only other ducks could understand. He even played the saxophone on late-night television. On election day, the voters filled out their ballots in booths all over the country. Remember, the president he runs over the entire country, whereas the governor, he runs over just his state. The vote was counted and the results were announced on CNN. Decision America. Mr. President, 50,546,165 votes. Duck, 50,546,170 votes. That means Duck won by 5 votes. The president demanded a recount. 10 sticky ballots were found stuck to the bottom of the vice president. The new tally was Mr. President, 50,546,165 votes, and Duck, 50,546,180 votes. That means he got all 10 of those votes that they found stuck to the bottom of the vice president. The voters had spoken. Duck was officially in charge. Running a country is very hard work. At the end of each day, Duck was covered from head to toe in face powder, paper cuts, staples, security badges, Secret Service agents, and coffee stains. And he had a very bad headache. Running a country is no fun at all, thought Duck. Wow, everyone, look at this picture over here. Look how blue it is. What do you think that the illustrator Betsy Lewin wanted to convey with this picture? What do you think she's showing to us, readers? Why do you think she made it so blue? Yeah, I think you guys are right. Maybe it means that Duck is feeling pretty tired and maybe he's pretty sad that being president wasn't what he thought it would be. Very good, guys. Then he checked the help wanted ads. Duck needed, no experience necessary, must be able to mow the lawn and grind coffee beans. This help wanted ad looks pretty familiar to something else we saw in the beginning of the book. Who do you guys think might have put out this ad? Who needs a duck to help them out? It could be. Let's keep reading and see if it is. Duck left the vice president in charge and headed back to the farm. You guys were right. That help wanted ad was for Farmer Brown, who was looking for a duck again. At the end of each day, Farmer Brown is now covered from head to toe in hay, horsehair, seeds, sprouts, feathers, filth, mud, muck, and coffee stains. And Duck is working on his autobiography. Right up here on the computer it says, Running a farm is very hard work. So if you guys remember, an autobiography is a story that someone writes about themselves. And a biography is a story that someone writes about somebody else. So if you remember, at the very beginning of the year, we wrote mini autobiographies so that I could get to know you guys a little bit more. So why do you guys think Duck might be writing an autobiography? Why would he want to do this? That's a lot of really good ideas. Yeah, maybe he wanted to document what his life was like while he was running for all these different positions. Very good. After we finished reading the book, I would ask the students what they thought about it, and if they liked it. I would then ask them what they thought Duck learned throughout the story. Hopefully they would come up with answers like that Duck thought that all the jobs would be pretty easy, but they all ended up being pretty hard, and that no matter what type of job you have in life, it will require lots of hard work. And now, maybe Duck will appreciate what Farmer Brown does, what the governor does, and what the president does every day. After we finished the discussion of the book, I would have the children conduct an activity that relates to our theme of government and the election process. The activity would be a worksheet that says, if I were president, and then I would have them give me 3 things that they would do if they became president one day. I would also have them draw a picture of themselves as president. And that would wrap up our interactive read aloud of the book, Duck for President, by Doreen Cronin and illustrated by Betsy Lewin.